Hello, year 5 and 6. How are you guys doing? Hope you've had a lovely week. I have been receiving lots of awesome work from you in regards to the CO2 emissions and how much I would save if I reduce the time in the shower or if I use the car less. You're coming up with some really good answers and also your line graphs are really, really good. What I also liked was that some people reflected on their own CO2 emissions and what they could do differently. That was really, really good. Also, some of you are already growing plants in the garden. Excellent. If you are starting to grow some more plants, please send them over. Okay, moving forward, we are going to be doing about deforestation this week. Now, a long, long time ago, the world was mostly covered in forests. Now, as our population grew, we had to cut down the forests for villages, for cities, for towns, for farming. We used the wood to build houses. We use them to keep us warm. We use it for paper now. We use it for lots and lots of different things. Now, at the moment, the world is covered in about 30% of rainforests or forests. Now, we need to keep that as it is because, do you remember from last lesson why plants and trees are really good? That's right, because for every emission, CO2 emission that we make, plants and trees absorb it and then produce oxygen, which helps us breathe, obviously. Now, we want to keep that figure of the rainforest at 30%. We don't want it to go below. So some people are still cutting down trees. Some people are cutting down trees, and this is not just a tree in your garden. This is lots and lots and lots and acres of trees. We want it to stay at 30%. Ideally, we'd like it to be a little bit more. So some people are planting trees and some people are not planting trees and they're cutting them down. So it's very, very difficult. One of the big factors of deforestation that we have at the moment is something called palm oil. Now, we are cutting down rainforests and then planting palm oil trees. Now, palm oil is used for lots and lots of things, and I have discovered that it's in about 50% of products in the supermarket. So ranging from toothpaste to shampoo to hand soap to biscuits to bread. And I didn't realize it was in lots of different products. Now, palm oil is like vegetable oil and rapeseed oil and canola oil, but palm oil is very, very cheap, extremely cheap. So companies like to use that in their products because they don't have to spend that much money to do it. Now, this is not helpful for the environment. If we keep taking down rainforests and forests and building and planting palm oil trees, it's not good for the environment. So I'm going to talk about biodiversity. Biodiversity is where lots of different living things are living in a particular environment. So trees, plants, insects, animals. And what's happening is that we're cutting down all these forests and just planting these palm trees to produce palm oil, but nothing else. So when they're cutting down all these forests, all the animals try to move somewhere else. And they're finding it very, very difficult. And in actual fact, it's making some animals become extinct. And that means that they're not around anymore. There's no more animals of that particular animal. Now, the one animal that's been really, really affected is the orangutan. And it's estimated that because of all these cutting down trees for palm oil, There are about 5,000 that are dying each year. Now that's not good. We need to stop this. Now what I'd like you to do now is have a little look around your house and find things that might contain palm oil. Now, I've had a look and I've found a couple of things. There wasn't that many in my house, so I'm quite happy about that, but bourbons. I love bourbons. They contain palm oil. And then this is my spread that I use. It's dairy free because, as you know, I'm lactose intolerant. And now I look at ingredients quite often because I've got lots of allergies and I just check the ingredients, but I've never ever checked for palm oil. And I'm having a look here, and this one, it says sustainable palm oil. What's the difference? Having palm oil in products is not necessarily a bad thing. There is a way that is kinder to nature, and that's called sustainable palm oil. Now, that is regulated by a company called the RSPO, which stands for the Round Table of Sustainable Palm Oil. And they go to different countries where they produce palm oil, and they make sure that they produce it in a way where they don't hurt the environment. They're not cutting down more trees. They use the palm trees that they've already got to produce this palm oil, which is a good thing. Now what they do is they give little bits of land to people in these countries, and they have to pass a certificate in order for them to produce this palm oil. Now this is helping poverty. This is helping poor families in these countries where it's creating jobs for them in order them to produce sustainable palm oil. That is a good thing. So the activity, we got 2 activities, and what I'd like you to do is I want you to write a letter to the Prime Minister, a persuasive letter to the Prime Minister, asking companies if they want to use palm oil, it has to be sustainable. So companies are not allowed to use palm oil if it's not sustainable. So you are going to ask the Prime Minister to make it a rule. Now remember, it's persuasive. You're not going to be mean to the Prime Minister, but you need to include lots of facts and figures so it helps and supports your argument. You're also going to use formal language. You're not going to use contractions. Do not want you using contractions. For activity 2, what I'd like you to do is create a persuasive poster informing people about the good things of sustainable palm oil and the bad things of using palm oil. Now what I'm going to do is, I love bourbons. They are my favourite biscuit. But it doesn't make me happy that they're using palm oil. Now, I don't know if this is from Tesco's. I don't know if Tesco's use sustainable palm oil. They might be using sustainable palm oil, but just haven't put it on the pack. So I'm going to write a letter to them, and I hope they respond, whether they are intending to use sustainable palm oil or if they already do. And if they already do, I'd like them to write it on the packet, because it's something that, with all the research that I've done this week, is something that I feel very, very strongly about. I hope you enjoy this week's work, and I hope you feel as passionately as I do. Okay, good luck.